Alright, welcome to episode 3 of Rogue Mode 0 to 40. So we're Rogue Mode grade 3 right now. Episode 1 we went to level 2. Episode 3 we're gonna go to 4. Episode 2 we went to 3. So I've had a long day at work. I'll just go ahead and show you straight away. I got my snacks today. Here I got these nuts and M&M's. I got a beefy stick. And I already had some Tang, but I do have water. So the plan is... Let me make sure my controller's hooked up. We're hoping to get some better missions. Some level 3 missions. Difficulty 3, that might be orbital missions at this point. I think it is. I think it's time for orbital missions. Strange object. I don't want that one, but it is difficulty 2. And I remember correctly that if I just go to base 159, I should get it correctly. We'll just do this strange object. Alright, where's 159? Set my marker. So, last time, I spent a whole long time on this strange object mission, but actually the problem was that I didn't read the mission correctly. So it was telling me the distance from the base. So then I was thinking that it would only be that distance away from the base, but no, that's the distance I was from the base. So these lost objects actually, usually if you fly down a straight line, in this case, southeast, to about 70 kilometers, you should run into it. And on the way somehow. On the way. And these lost objects, I think I can see them from a little bit more altitude. So during the missions, you can't see the object until you get a lot closer, because it's not a sprite or some other, the game object type is different than these randomly generating ones. So for these randomly generating ones, I should see a little speck. I'd probably see it better if I had better than 1080p. So out of this whole game so far, I mean, really the only time I think that having better than 1080p would really matter is the lost object missions. But if you have seen me try to fly any lost object missions before, then you know that I'm not particularly fond of them. In fact, normally if I play Rogue Mode, I don't do them at all. But we haven't gained access to the orbital missions yet. Is that an object? Alright, so I passed it. Oh, is that it right there? That was a really camouflaged object. stretched out Hulk. Alright, so now if I remember correctly, my scan button does work, I just need to push it well enough. Oh, you see me bonk the ground right there? And then hopefully by the time I finish this mission, we'll start to get some higher difficulty missions showing up in the FMS. Base 157, oh yeah baby, difficulty 3. It says drop zone. It doesn't look like it's a lung, so I gotta get the self-load and the drop shaft. So it's not orbital, but it should level us up quite a bit more quickly. Number 2. That's the number 2 camera. I gotta learn these cameras better. So I'm gonna pick up the vanadium and self-load. So self-loading is actually kind of hard when you're in VTOL, because the nose of the craft you see is very tall. So if I watch from this camera, I can actually do it because I can see where the nose is. But if I'm going to fly from the cockpit, which I prefer to just fly from the cockpit because I feel like it's a little bit better of a simulator. I would prefer to simulate sitting in the cockpit. I only play this camera at all is because I started making some videos, and in the videos I just felt like people wanted to see that camera. But this camera is mounted to the ship. And as you can see, the part that's gonna grab the container sticks down on the bottom, and if I just latch that onto the can, then let myself tip down over onto the container, then I can actually just fly forward onto the container. So if I'm in the cockpit, then the way that I would try to grab the container, because I can see forward, is to line up behind the container and then fly gently forward until I plop down onto the container, which would work, except for the nose is so tall, so it doesn't work. But if I hover in cruise mode and I come right down next to the container, then I can bonk it, flop down on top of it, and I can actually just kind of grab the container by gradually moving forward until I hit the container. Oh, except sometimes I crash. See, now I grabbed it. And there she is. So I'm just waiting for that drop point to show itself. Which is that building right there. There's these other cameras. So what I really want for these approaches is I'm gonna hit the brakes. A down in 45-degree angle camera. So if I mess this up, and I miss, then that container might fall all the way to the ground, which would not be ideal. So actually, I think it'll be safer for me to guarantee and finish the mission if I just switch to the VTOL hover. But I don't want to do that until I'm right down at the right height, and then I want to switch while I got a little bit of upward momentum. So that way I'm not falling, because if I start falling, then I try to use VTOL. Full throttle is not going to save me from that fall. And there it goes into the bucket. So now I should be able to enable auto VTOL, and now I'm just gonna gradually hover up. So I'll clean my inbox. See, these missions are small. I don't know what to do about that. I could just fly back down, find a landing pad, wait for a mission, a level 3 mission. There's a pad that doesn't have an elevator. Another option I could do to take the time is request a local mission. Which is what I'm gonna do. One difficulty. So I'll delete all inactive missions. Then I'll send a request for a local mission. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, space station level 4 self-load. So that'll level me up for sure. Oh. Oh. Oh, I could get a drifting cargo. Or I can get an abandoned cargo. I'm gonna do this one. Then I get to practice my container pickup. So these orbital missions, they don't take anywhere near as long as the orbital missions from the first couple of the map missions. Those are like long haul, fly around the whole planet. These ones, you actually finish the mission just as soon as you get to the space station. And then it's really up to me to come back here if I want to. So when these cargoes are not on flat ground, however, this gets a lot harder because I kind of rely on the flatness to help me get oriented. And when this thing's at a slight angle, it's harder to stay oriented. I mean, I can use the motion. Oh, jeez, oh, please. That's another problem. I missed it. I'll have to try this classic way. This is that Tang plan, huh? That's what you would say? Alright, I'm gonna, instead of trying to approach it from backwards where the front is so low, I come at it from this, where I can see the container. That's the real way to do it. Alright, I got it. My original plan would have worked if I came from the other direction instead of trying to go down the hill. So here's the launch site, but my GPS coordinates are on the screen that appears to be broken. I don't think I'm at 0, 0. I don't think I'm at 0 latitude. played that whole missions in third-person camera. Now I gotta get used to this other one again. Sweet Italian mix. Cheapest thing on Amazon. Oh yeah, I'm at point 2. That means that once I do finally get out of here, then I gotta go due south a tiny bit. Oh, actually, I don't have to do none of that. This one has a waypoint. I'll just fly to the waypoint. And it is making me due south a tiny bit. And this stuff is good. Falcon Station is a pretty good one to approach for the views because you see it from so far away and it grows as it approaches you. It's a really enjoyable visual experience to watch the object steadily get bigger and bigger. Pioneer Space Sim is really good for that one. The reason why I like Pioneer Space Sim, even though the graphics aren't so great, even with those graphics, the planets still look pretty good when they're far away. And you're using orbital mechanics to fly to the other planets. When I always switch to third-person view, even when I'm just playing, because then I can watch that station closer. I could try these other cameras, but none of them really have a good view. Yeah. I'm gonna try to correct my eccentricity at this point. That? Oh yeah, I still can't see. I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna go now. So there's Alkin. You can see it right next to the sun. See, I'm not going in the correct direction. I need to go more north. No. Here's another really great part. The best part of this game is matching your velocity right here. So then there's a few minutes here where you're like kind of just waiting and you're watching it come in, and you cut your engines on, and then it stops moving past you. Alright, I'm getting way ahead of myself here. It's you know, I'm way used to the smaller stations. Alright, am I looking at a dock port or a landing pad? I must be looking at a landing pad, but I thought for sure that there was a way to do cargo at the dock port. So it could be possible that some of these are dock port freighter missions. If it's you know, I'm just gonna hit this dock port here first. You know, my thing is, I always like to go to the dock port before I go to the landing pad. I mean, I do it every single time, and it does slow you down a little bit. Like if I was trying to race to level 40, I would lose. There's a few things I do that just take longer. Like passive re-entry definitely takes longer than if you can manually go in and set your re-entry window to be closer, and then just undock and then full blast. Use your rockets to kill all of your inertia, and just deorbit like fully powered until you're slow enough that you can just drop down into the atmosphere without catching on fire. But I'm doing the old passive re-entry where I try to fly down until I'm not doing it from the apoapsis, where you do a burn at the apoapsis to line your trajectory up, which is the correct way to do things. Like if you were a space shuttle, the most efficient burn is either at the apoapsis or the periapsis. But I'm just like trying to catch up to that vector from the game's default deorbit window. Switch to a top cam. I don't actually know. Well, that's pretty good. Let's see if I can stay inside of that nice green. Doc. Alright, now it's time for me to go. It's faster if I just do it like this. Yep, sure enough, looks like a landing pad. There was a dock port right next to it. There we go. Man, I can't tell how far away the dang thing is. Let's see how far that gets us. That might get us all the way to 4. See, this is only 3 kilometers away. I just go around here and I get... Well, I'm already at level 4, so I'm going to get out of here. I have 4 minutes to get to orbital vanadium. Where is it? Where is orbital vanadium? Did I not accept the mission? Use my jets. The other thing I like to do is, this is going to make me wait for a re-entry window. So during re-entry windows, that's when I really like to go wait at a dock port. Oh geez. How far do I still have to go?
Freighter TL01, Falcon Station. You are all set to dock.
pin myself down. What? I accepted the wrong one. What? Mission is active. Oh, I accepted the wrong one. I'm gonna miss this one. Oh, that's gotta be inside. Jeez, wrong button. Can't see.
Freighter TL01, Falcon Station. You are go for docking.
This is gonna be some wee little bit of experience. Station Alkin. Difficulty 2. Here, let me clean the inbox. Can I get... No. Oh, drifting cargo. Alka team. Alka team is far. Drifting cargo. Alkin. We'll accept it. Difficulty 3. What's this? Difficulty 4. But I gotta go to the land base. That'll take forever. That's really far away. Station Alkin, drifting cargo it is. Retrieve this cargo. Oh no, crash. Can't see. Can't tell how big things are or how far they are away. There's a drifting in the space station. Overshoot. Wrong button.
What are you doing up there? Get down.
Got it.
Freighter TL01 Falcon Station. Proceed with the docking approach.
What the heck? Christ almighty.
doing?
I got it all the way to the ground for that one. This one I don't. I'm just gonna chill out here. These missions are small. Oh no. I'll never make it. 1 minute. That's impossible. Jeez, oh Pete.
TL01, Falcon Station. Proceed with the docking approach.
Failed. Look at this, it's giving me base 192. Oh no, is that the wrong direction? The wrong move. I thought it was a shrinking number. So now at this point, we're dealing just with the regular re-entry. Actually, I'm a little far out. No, don't gain altitude. It's about to get hot. So much fuel left. I could probably finish the whole mission on that fuel.
TL01, base 192 ground. We have you on screen.
What's going on here? Oh, that thing's in the way of the dang landing pad. Oops, too much brakes. One hour. I think after this mission, I'm gonna call that the day. $3,000 kilometers. What? All right, 3,000 kilometers it is, folks. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to try to get up to about 40 to 60 altitude and just juice it up to like 9K. And then I'll basically be doing a re-entry after that. To lose altitude yet though. I'm trying to gain some altitude here. Now I want to stop gaining altitude. Yep, right about there. Nope, I don't want to lose altitude. Thousand meters per second. 6,000 meters per second. Do I have trim on? Coming up on 7,000 meters per second. 7,000 meters per second. Really burning a lot of fuel. Alright, I'm getting hot. 8,000 meters per second. Nine thousand meters per second. So now I'm super orbital right now. At this altitude, I'm non-circular. I'll go flinging out to 10,000 kilometers up in the air. I don't want to gain altitude. I'm going to start losing some altitude here. Alright, so I might fling out into space at this point if I don't arrest this FPA back to 0. There we go. I just need to arrest this FPA back to 0. There it goes. Now it's going negative. That's what we need to see right there. Alright, now we're getting some negative FPA action. And we're getting into the window of where we'd be altitude-wise for re-entry. Oh, it's starting to get a little hot. So now really, I don't want to gain any more altitude. Not significant. I want to just chill here. I want to increase my trim until I'm not losing FPA. And I just want to let it gradually decrease in speed. And so right now, at this altitude, having my 700 kilometers and being right around 700 meters per second, that's good. So anywhere between like 7 and 4, you want your, at this altitude, you want your velocity to be like 6,000 meters per second at 600 kilometers, roughly, ballpark. And you know you're like safe. You don't have to worry about anything. You might overshoot a little bit if you got a container like what I got in it. So now here I need to start slowing down a lot more. So kill my trim. Switch to so I'm actually going to overshoot at this rate unless I really kill a lot of velocity quickly. But I'm at 54 kilometers altitude, so I can actually kill quite a bit of velocity by holding my attitude here at this like belly flop into the atmosphere. And I shouldn't overshoot that much. And by going as fast as possible to the last possible second, the mission should go a little more quickly. Now I really want to dive down. So you get above this drop point. Well, I never got to 5. Where's the dang landing pads? Alright, that's going to be a video. That's it for me for today. That was episode 3 of Rogue Mode 0 to 40. We got to level 4. So we're on pace for 1 level, 1 episode. I don't think that pace is going to change, actually. Maybe it will though, because as you get here, I don't know how far I have to get up here, but I'm not sure which missions are available, but you start getting some of these, a lot more of these 4 and 5 difficulty. Here's a 4. So once you start getting more of those, then you can just only do those, and then you'll level up a lot more quickly. So that will be it for today. Thank you very much.